What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another movie review. The movie I want to take a look at right now is Death on the Nile. Now, this one comes to us from 20th Century Studios and it hits theaters this Friday, February 11th, if you are interested, regardless of what I'm about to say. So, this is a follow-up to The Murder on the Orient Express, another novel adapted from author Agatha Christie. And it has Kenneth Branagh coming back to direct, and he's also the investigator. So that's how you kind of tie in both of those worlds. But it's a completely new set of characters. It's a new mystery, and it's a new setting. So there's that. And the plot goes as follows. While on vacation on the Nile, Hercule Poirot must investigate the murder of a young heiress. So that's it. Just like the Murder on the Orient Express, we have a cavalcade of characters, and something happens to one of them, and Poirot has to figure out who did it. And by the end, he has this nice little monologue where he's like, okay, I've figured it all out. I pieced it together in my head. Boom, you were involved with this. Boom, you were involved. So that's usually how these movies go. But they could be a lot of fun. With my history on this, briefly, real quick, is that I don't remember anything about the Murder on the Orient Express. This is one of those things to where it came out 4.5 years ago at this point, and I don't remember anything about it. I remember some of the people that were in it, but that's about it. So, yeah, so going into this, I wasn't like super excited. I didn't even see any of the trailers. I just wanted to kind of go into it blind when I had the opportunity to watch it. So I watched it, and it's not bad. I actually had a fun time with it. The thing is, with this one, I felt like the narrative and some of the character work was a little bit thematically richer and a little deeper than the first one. I felt like there were a lot of moments that we got to kind of take a breath in and really kind of explore some of the characters and explore some of their backstories and why they are the way they are, and really just kind of like crack underneath the surface. And I kind of appreciated that. Director Kenneth Branagh didn't have to do that, but he did it, and I enjoyed that part. As far as like the mystery goes, I think Branagh does the exact same thing here as he does with the first one. It's fun, and then when the murder actually happens, you're kind of in suspense and like you want to figure out who did it, and he kind of takes you along this ride, like maybe it could be this person. He misdirects, and he throws this person in there. It's like maybe it could be this person, and even up to the very, very last moment, Branagh does a lot of misdirects to kind of like throw you off just a little bit, and then at the very end you're like, oh, okay, I kind of had a suspicion it was this person. But I think Branagh just makes you have a fun time with it, makes it very interactive, and you feel like you're a part of the adventure and the mystery, just like his character in the movie is, because he plays the investigator. So I think overall, from a directing standpoint and from a writing standpoint, I think another addition to the kind of fun whodunit adventure, while also making the characters seem a little bit more complex than the first one, which I really appreciate. And that's the added bonus that this one has over Murder on the Orient Express. So if they want to make a third one, that's totally fine. Just make it another whodunit, and then just add another layer on top of that. I don't know what you would do, but just kind of do that with what you did with this one, and I think it'll make it for a nice little experience. So Branagh, hats off to you for making this one stand out, and I appreciated the additions to this. As far as the cast goes, in terms of it being a ensemble piece, I think everyone does their part. Gal Gadot is the main character. I think she's probably the weakest out of everyone. I still am not convinced of any project she's done outside of Wonder Woman. I'm still willing to give her plenty of chances, especially when she does her Cleopatra biopic. That's going to be the ultimate test. But I never really felt it from her in her scenes, because we're in the 30s in this film, so it's a different setting, it's a different time period, and so you definitely want the actors to one, feel like they're in that time frame, and two, just have fun with this material. And I just didn't really feel it from her. She was basically the only one. The elephant in the room. the hammer in the room, if you will. He's fine. He has his moments in the movie, but that's all I need to discuss. We don't need to dive into that story any more than everyone else has on the internet. But as he goes in the movie, serviceable. There you go. A couple of the others that were a standout for me. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Tom Bateman and Annette Bening as the father kind of mother duo. I thought their chemistry was really nice, and I just loved them chewing the scenery any chance that they got, and they really dug in to the environment and to the story and to their characters, and it made me just appreciate the mystery a little bit more when I see specific actors like that having a blast with the material, because it's a whodunit. You don't have to take it too serious, even though, like I said, they do take it somewhat serious in some of the scenes. They still have fun with it. Russell Brand's in this. Didn't know if you knew that. He's a very weird character, but I think he does what he can, and it is what it's not really anything to write home about, but it is weird to see Mr. Brand in this movie. Who else? Rose Leslie. You may know her from Game of Thrones. I liked her presence. I want to see her in more movies. So I would like that very much. Ali Fazal. He plays kind of like the cousin to Gal Gadot's character. I liked him. He's kind of like, he's supposed to be like a snaky character and not really trustworthy, and I thought he delivered that quite well. There's a couple of like aunts and like godmothers. They're kind of goofy, but like they fit the kind of murder mystery. It's like they seem a little innocent. They're older, right? It's like, no, not really. They have motives as well. I liked Letitia Wright as well. I thought she was a nice addition to the cast, and every time when she was on screen, I thought she popped a lot more than some of the other actors. So I will give her that. The actress that was playing her, she was like a manager of like a musician. So the musician in the film, I really enjoyed her as well. Once again, it's very apparent when you see other actors really giving 110%, and then ones that are just kind of like on cruise control. So you can definitely tell, but she was definitely not. And then I'm forgetting the actress's name, but the one that is Armie Hammer's love interest at the beginning of the film, she was fantastic. I would say like her and Kenneth Branagh were probably the best ones out of the entire film. They even have scenes together, and so I thought she was incredible. And so once again, just kind of like adding to the complexity of a character, really kind of diving beneath the surface. She was a part of that kind of directorial decision from Branagh and the writers on their part. But yeah, she was fantastic. Some of the green screen is a little wonky. Some of it is definitely apparent. I don't know what they did, but it seems like they built the boat and it was surrounded with some props and some set construction, like maybe a couple feet out of it or something, and then the rest was green screen. I have no clue, but that's what I'm assuming it was. Some of it is a little wonky, and what I mean by that is that some of the kind of like sunlight scenes are very apparent on the actors, especially if the actors are in front of the green screen, the sun is behind them. It's definitely a separation of the two, and you can definitely tell that they are two separate things. So it's not really like great blending on that part, but everything else I thought was pretty good. I was a little worried when I saw like the parts of the trailer and like the poster and everything. I was like, oh no, so if this is gonna be set on a boat, like what is it gonna look like on the outside? Like, did they actually go somewhere? Like, is this like in a pool or something? I have no clue. But besides that, everything else was pretty well done. I don't know if they did this, but it looked like they were some depth of field and like what am I trying to think of? It's like the trick of the eye where you put something close and it looks bigger than it is. Come back to me on that. If you know it down below, let me know. But yeah, I really thought there was some nice trickery with some miniatures that were like further into the camera than it should, and like it was messing with the uh, um, depth perception and everything. And so I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if that was it, but that was at the beginning of the film. It looked pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of Team America a little bit when they were in the desert scene. But but other than that, I thought the actual execution and the construction of it, like if that's what it was, hey, good on them. It's a cheaper method than traveling, and so I thought they did a pretty good job with that. So, yeah. Other than that, I don't really know what else more to say. I love the fact that whodunits are like kind of like coming into the forefront again. Especially with like the first one, Murder on the Orient Express, and of course like with the explosive hit that was Knives Out. I'm just loving this kind of renaissance of whodunit. So keep these up. If they're just a fun time at the movies, I can't really complain. I think this one did that, and it added a little bit more flash to it, and I really appreciated that. So, hey, if you guys want to make a third one, I'm totally down. So that will be my review of Death on the Nile. Please let me know down below what you thought of the movie, and that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.